Consequently, using a merchandising approach to describe your products or services, while commendable, it does not connect with the mind or the emotions of the prospects. And we all know, we don't need to do a seminar on emotions. Everybody understands that money is emotional. If we've learned anything since the downturn, it is money is emotional. If things aren't going the way they want, if they're not achieving their financial goals, people get very emotional. So many of us in the industry tend to describe our products or services and talk about our attributes, which is all good, except that it does not connect with the mind or the emotion of the individual. Secondly, their comment was merchandising your products and selling the features or attributes invites competitive comparison. Now, I've met with and spoken at many, many conferences. We do a lot of coaching and consulting around this. And the thing that we hear all the time is advisors and firms will say things like, well, we're different. Let me tell you what makes me different. Even prospects will say, well, what makes you different from my current advisor? Just remember this, difference is polarizing. In other words, when you think about it, the only way I can determine difference is to compare you with something else. So if I already have an advisor, I'm going to compare you to that which it is that I have. If I'm considering moving my assets or engaging with a firm, and I ask you, what makes you different from my current firm? And we then say, well, what makes me different is, or what makes us different is, the challenge is they're in full comparison mode. Always remember this, it's not about difference, it's about what makes you distinct. So if someone ever were to ask you, what makes you different from my current advisor or my current firm or my current plan, your answer is, what my clients say makes me distinct is, and then give them your brand promise, or I help them put their financial life in balance as an illustration. So what makes you different from my current advisor? What makes you different? Or I'm online and I'm looking for a firm to be able to do business with. The question in their mind is, what makes these people different than the people I already have? On your website even, it shouldn't talk about what makes you different. The thing that makes you distinct is, and then articulate what makes us distinct is we help people get their financial life in balance as an illustration. So that's really important. And there's a classic example going on right now down in San Antonio, Texas. In-N-Out Burger is open, 3 or 4 stores down there. They're up against a behemoth, which is Whataburger. Whataburger and In-N-Out are having a battle in the marketplace, and people are talking about online, it's trending, about which one is better, and In-N-Out says what makes us different is, and they're losing because Whataburger online is talking about what makes our burgers distinct. Now, you might say, well, it's not a big deal. Well, it's a really big deal when you recognize that people today are looking for points of distinction, and they don't want to get engaged in competitive comparison. And I would suggest you don't either. The third thing that's really important as a principle here to understand, knowing that decisions are made based on real and perceived value, the financially successful want clarity in every communication we do, sales presentation, one sheet, cut sheet, website. How does this information, recommendation solve my problem or problems as the case might be? So with that in mind, that's how they perceive real and, if you will, perceive value. So then the challenge becomes, how does this really effectively move people forward? It moves people forward because if you communicate in all your marketing and sales messages how your recommendations will help them, it inspires individuals to respond and take action, and that's critical. So communicating in all your marketing and sales messages how your recommendations will help them inspires individuals to respond and, most importantly, take action. Whether that's making an inquiry, whether that is going to a trade show and getting engaged with your firm because your exhibit there talks about helping them. It's not about your products and services. If you're an advisor, it's really understanding good discovery, and by doing so, you can then demonstrate and articulate how you can help them because that inspires individuals. So with that said, how do you move forward? Here is an illustrative formula that I know that will help you not only to move forward, but most importantly, explain your value in an elevated way and maximize your revenue.